buy a size and you're happy that it fits, but you're sad because it's the size that it is? Hey guys, so I'm back. It's Tuesday and it's Nerd Shirt Tuesday! Huzzah! And today I am rocking this Spirited Away beautiful, super cute Soot Sprite t-shirt I got at Hot Topic. It even has the little stars and they're like frenzying over the little stars and it's so cute. And it's very square, but that's okay because I got it in a bigger size and it's gonna look fine. It's just that I'm not used to wearing a large and I'm having feels. These are my feels. These are not feels for anybody else. They're just my feels because I have body dysmorphia, which means that I am not the sum of my parts. When I look in the mirror, I focus on my belly or I focus on my thighs. I don't see all of me connecting to one person that is worthy. I see myself in a very disjointed, very discombobulated way, and I focus on the negatives and I cannot see the positives. So getting sizes that I'm not used to now that I've gained weight really kind of throws that in my face and makes it difficult for me to accept myself because I am also anorexic, and it's something I've struggled with since I was in about high school. I just wouldn't eat. At my lowest I was 100 pounds. But I was in high school, so it was a little bit more acceptable looking because I looked so young, and I did tennis and I was active, so it was easier to keep the weight off. And this took a very strange turn. Stay with me though. Let's have a chat. Let's get cereal. And I managed it for a while, and then in college I got up to 115, which I wasn't happy about, but your body's changing a lot and you have either more of an active schedule because you're in sports or less of an active schedule because you backed away from sports. I walked every day to class, so that helped keep the weight off. I ate very, very little. There were days that I didn't eat at all. There were stretches where I didn't eat at all, and it wasn't a conscious thing really. It just was, I'm busy, I don't need to eat. And then it became, well, if I eat now, I'll just put on weight. So at first it was like, oh, study, 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 study. I don't have time to like go down the commissary. I don't have time to walk. I can't. There was no Uber, or not Uber. There was no, well, Uber Foods or anything like that to bring me something at the time because it was 2006. I'm old. So I just skipped meals. It was just easier. And then I would walk to school and walk back. It was a really long trek in the rain and snow, but uphill both ways. And then I was in a sorority for a little while. It was a very misjudged attempt to be popular, to make friends. I think sororities can be very good for certain people. I am not one of those people. I did make 3 friends that I really enjoyed, but once I dropped out of sorority, it was like I didn't exist anymore. Sororities make you super, super busy. And they're expensive. Parties are expensive, pens are expensive, books are expensive. It takes up a lot of your time. It can take away from studying. And I know I'm saying a lot of negatives here, but my point was there was a lot of pressure from, I guess, the den mothers to look a certain way, to act a certain way. And I know that my big sister, we all had bigs and littles, whenever you join the sorority, I'm probably not supposed to say any of this because it's all hush hush, but when you join a sorority, you get a big, which is a big sister, and there's a week where she leaves you presents and hints and little gifts and basically both of those things, to where you're supposed to guess who she is, and at the end there's a big reveal and you'll go to dinner and it's a lot of fun. Well, my big was a lot of fun and I adored her. And I was at, it was during Rush Week, which they don't call it Rush Week anymore. I don't know what they call it, but it's something more PC, but it was Rush Week, okay? And we all had these dresses that we had to buy, and my big was an Amazon. Like, she was a beautiful, voluptuous woman, and the den mother was just berating her about her weight and how she looked in this dress. It wasn't a flattering dress for everybody. It was like a bridesmaid's dress gone wrong. I looked, I think, okay in it, but it was not flattering at all. And so I'm seeing this, and she's just in floods, and I'm like, so confused over this. We're supposed to be sisters, and this is supposed to be a community thing and bringing us together and making things easier for each other. And here's a grown woman telling another woman that she's not good enough because of her weight, and she doesn't want her to sing and like represent our sorority, which I am not going to say what sorority I was in because they might come and kill me. And it was a very eye-opening experience, and it was eye-opening, but then it also made me very, very paranoid about my own weight. So I was up to 115, and I felt like at that moment, I felt like I was worthless. I was completely out of the zone where I was supposed to be. I wasn't pretty. The only thing that I had going for me is that I was thin. I don't have a pretty face. I don't have pretty hair. I don't have pretty eyes. I have a unique eye color because I have green eyes with a brown ring around them. They're interesting looking, but they're so small you can't tell. So the only thing I had going for me is that I was thin, and I felt like at 115 I was really losing that. That was the only thing that I could grab onto to say that I was, and yeah. So I more actively stopped eating, and it becomes easier. There's a lot of sites that you can use that are what is pro-anorexia, you know. The light in here is really bad, sorry. It's a very gray day outside. And I am not condoning those. I think those hurt immensely because let's see if this will help. Will it help? No, it won't help. I use those sites like a Bible. I'm not gonna say anything that was on there, but if it was on there, I used it. I used every single weird trick, every diet, everything. And I got down to 100 pounds again. And then I had a boyfriend who was really into working out. So we added in 2-3 miles, 4-5 miles a day in the sweltering hot sun of Texas. So I was dripping, pouring sweat, getting all that out, and then also all the running. And he was very, very critical of the way I looked because I became a cosplayer in I graduated school 2001. Okay, I was wrong. I graduated college 2006. I went into college in 2001. I became a cosplayer in 2002. I think my real honest cosplay was around 2007 2003, and it was Robin, I think it was 2003, it might have been 2002, but it was Robin Senna from Witch Hunter Robin with her hair. I had really super long blonde hair, and so I used my own pigtails and wrapped them with cloth. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, look up Witch Hunter Robin. It's a great anime. You will get all the feels, and Amun is just so sexy. Anyway, so he would use that against me. He would say, oh, well, you want to be an overweight person, you want to be that fat cosplayer, you want to be fat Haruko, or people are going to laugh at you if you go to cons and you're not the certain weight, and the only thing that you have going for you is that you're thin. You're not as beautiful as Jessica Nigri or Yaya Han, so no one's going to notice you. No one's going to care that you're dressed up as a certain person unless you're thin. This is why he's an ex. But I believed him, and it fed into my insecurity, and it fed the monster that is anorexia, the monster that is insecurity, the demons that are body dysmorphia and not believing in yourself and being depressed and having anxiety and wondering if you should even cosplay or you should even be here. And I will admit there were some ideations, and we'll get into that in another segment, but because this is getting a little dark anyway. But having someone that fed those monsters was an experience. It was something that I thought I would never be good enough. I can never achieve what I wanted to achieve, much less what he wanted me to achieve, if that makes sense. It wasn't anything that I would ever be able to do. And so I dieted, I didn't eat, I got back down to, I think I was 98 pounds. I'm 5'0". I am right at 5 foot. And I was 98 pounds and sick. So sick. I didn't know what was wrong with me. I had no, well, looking back, you're dumb, kid, but like I had no energy. I caught everything. I had mono, strep, and bronchitis at the same time in college. I was so sick. I took my finals with 103-degree fever, which I didn't realize that, like, you don't have to do that. I thought that I was been really driven in school, and I thought that I've never asked for extra time on a test or told them that I was dyslexic. I always kept that to myself. I saw people abuse and misuse and lie about certain traits that they had or actually didn't have to get out of tests, to get more time on tests, to be isolated so they could cheat, to do things that were extremely negative. So I didn't want to be associated with that, so I didn't admit to any of my learning disabilities and get the advantage of actually having these disabilities recognized and being able to take advantage of the programs that are out there that you can have to help you. And there are programs to help you. And you don't have to take a final whenever you have 103-degree fever. You don't have to do it. But I did it, because I'm stubborn. So going back to whatever I was talking about. This is emotional for me because it's not something that I talk about a lot, but we kind of segued into it because this is a large shirt and I've never worn a large in my life. And I'm so far away from 115 pounds right now. And so I feel like I'm so far away from being pretty, from being accepted, for being an okay cosplayer, mediocre cosplayer. I have those feels. It's not going to stop me this time. I'm not going to stop cosplaying just because just because I'm a little fluffy. I know why, because I've been eating like crap. I've been eating burgers and fries. French fries are my favorite. I've been spooning peanut butter like it's ice cream. I've been eating ice cream. I've been eating like really not good stuff. And usually I go on a ketosis diet at this point, but they're kind of expensive. And the other thing is, I don't cook. I don't know how to cook. It's not like I don't cook. It's beneath me. I am terrified of cooking. It causes my anxiety to spike off the charts. I don't want to hurt anyone. I don't want to make anybody sick. I don't want to get it wrong. I'm one of those people where if I can't do it right the first time, I flip the table and set a baby on fire. Like, I'm done. And it's not a good thing to be that way. It's definitely not a good thing to be that way because it gets in the way of learning. But I'm such a perfectionist that I don't want to do it if I can't do it perfectly. And that comes from the way I was brought up. It was the kind of thing where I brought home a 99 on a test and, well, why didn't you get 100? As opposed to being like, good job, you got a 99. It was never good enough. I was never good enough. I would never achieve goodness. So yeah, it was hard, and everyone has their own life stories, and if you would like to share with me what you've been through, we can commiserate. I am here for you. I really want to start a conversation and be supportive to people who are going through this, especially this time of year whenever there's so much food available, there's so much, you know that the swimsuit season is going to bring pressure, but you know, you want that extra piece of pumpkin pie because grandma made it and it was so good. Then you hate yourself because you're like, but why though? Why am I like this? Because you're human. You're human and you want things, and it's okay. So if you would like to talk about it with me, leave a comment down below. I don't know if they still do response videos, but a response video would be awesome. Anything that you would like to get off your chest or talk about. Anorexia, body dysmorphia, anxiety, depression, ideations, anything like that. I'll probably do another in-depth my life story type vlog soon, and I need to do a my favorites for November soon. So I'm sorry this video turned a little dark, but there's a light at the tunnel, and I feel like YouTube is a wonderful community, that it can be a wonderful community that can bring people together, and I want to share that togetherness. I want to cultivate that togetherness, and if there's anything that I can do to cultivate that togetherness with you, let me know. So, love you guys. I love coming and talking and being a part of your day. So, that's it for me, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.